Thank you very much that was a beautiful offering. Thank you so much. How's everybody doing tonight? It warms my heart to see people here. This is very important for San Diego to turn out.
I know. I'm gonna tell him.
My name is Kat. I was sexually assaulted by an LAPD officer in 2006. So October 22nd is a day where people around the nation have mobilized every year since 1996 for a day of protest to stop police terror. This is a day to move to stop police brutality and criminalization of each and every generation. It is crucial that we bring forward a powerful national day of protest for cities and towns across the U.S. and challenge the ongoing violence of people. This October 22nd, we are standing along thousands across the country to express our collective outrage and resistance, creativity in response to the crimes of this system. I just want to give some reminders about just some housekeeping. Thank you very much for the Brown Berets of Aztlán who has turned out. It's much appreciated. Also, we have the Movement Productions who are acting as cop watchers and keepers of the march. We also have the Exodus Israelites that have joined us. They're also going to be the keepers. Three legal observers are identified in bright yellow. They are observing the march. And we also have independent journalists here. We have streamer Michael Buell. Thank you very much. We also have Rob Camacho, which is a community member in City Heights, and he's acting as an independent journalist to do a write-up of this very important day. We also have Irate Productions, which is streaming right now. So for those that couldn't be with us today, are with us in spirit. So this is I don't need a script. This is a day about testimonies. This is a day about families. This event is centered around them. I appreciate your ear. I appreciate everybody that is able to listen. Because Alfred Alongo is just one case. And hopefully tonight we'll begin the dialogue of much more support is needed. Many more families have been affected. And these are just a few. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce a warrior. She's been doing this for about 4 years, and I'm really, really proud of her. And she has some great updates, so please welcome. She's fighting for justice for Victor Ortega. She is the widow. Please welcome Shekinah.
Hi, everyone. Like Kathy said, I've been doing this for over 4 years, and for all the family members that are out here that lost their loved one, you have my support, and I'm here to tell my story because I'm a person that's been through what you guys been through too. And for those of you who don't know my case, I have been following it. We just came back from the appeals courts because the city appealed our case, or they tried to throw our case out to be dismissed. The judge denied them, so they filed an appeal, and we beat the appeal. So I don't know what the next stage is going to be, but it's been a long fight, and I haven't given up. And a lot of other families aren't going to give up either. The thing about the Victor Ortega case is it wasn't national, it didn't make national, but to me, it didn't really matter because that was my husband. So whether I felt like I didn't have the world's support or anything, I was still going to get out here and fight, which I've been doing. And I had to overcome a lot. You know, it's not easy to go up against the police officers because so many people just feel like whatever the police say is true. So it's kind of hard, especially when there's no camera, footage, but all we have is the evidence and the police officer statements that the judge, thank God they were able to see that there was way too many inconsistencies for the officer to be telling the truth about anything. So we stuck to it, and we've been out here fighting, and and I see all these other cases too, and I I want to help. I wish I could go out here and just be everybody's attorney, and help everybody. But how I'm going to help is make a difference in this case, so I'll be able to help everybody else that I'm able to help. And this is what tonight is about, because all of us that lost our loved ones, we're actually all, I consider us family, and we're all in this fight together. And my condolences to Alfred Alongo's family. I never got a chance to meet them, but that was a tragedy as well, right out here in San Diego, and my heart breaks for that family as well. And just to let that family know, I don't know if they're here or if they're going to be hearing this, but Shekinah Ortega got your back, and I'm going to help you guys as well. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. And because I've been through it, I've been through this fight, and I know, especially dealing with San Diego, I know all about it, and I'm here to help them too, as well. So I'm just happy everybody's out here, because I've been out here when there was 10, 12 people, and that's it. So it's like, wow, I'm happy all these people out here to support. It means a lot. Trust me, it means a lot to the families, especially families that it was just our word against the police. And our word, the evidence, and we have to piece together everything that happened with my case, because we didn't have footage. And you know what the police do when there's no footage. And you know what they do when there is footage, So I just want to thank everybody for being out here, and we're going to continue the fight. That's what you got to do. Don't ever give up. Continue fighting. All the way. Thank you.
No justice, no peace, no racist police.
No justice, no peace.
No racist police.
No justice, no peace.
No racist police.
All right, we need to get some energy here. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So we have a mother who traveled a very, very long way. She's an amazing woman. In October 2015, unfortunately, her son, Lamontes Jones, 39 years old, was gunned down by two SDPD police officers right here in the gas lamp. This woman is amazing. She gives me hope. She lifts up my spirits every day. Please welcome Victoria Jones. Came from all the way from Georgia to be with us tonight.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi. And I thank you all for coming out. This is my first time coming to one of these events. It won't be my last time. I would like to tell you a little bit about my son, Lamontes. When the story first came out, a lot of people wondered why I didn't expose myself, why I didn't get on the news. Why I didn't get on the news, why I didn't break down and cry and everything. It was, at that time, I was doing my own investigation. I was watching the police. I was listening to the police. I had to hear them paint a story of my son and the canopy that they used, the painting that they used. I'm here to tell you that it wasn't a real picture. What I'm here to tell you is that my son was a brilliant man, a very smart, courageous man. When he stood there on that street, in the middle of the street, he wasn't just standing there for me, he wasn't just standing there for you, but he was also standing for himself. His justice may not be what you think it should be because he used a replica gun. The fact was he wasn't going to be taken down by the police anymore. He had been unjustified behind them doing a case earlier because he had to kill somebody in self-defense. If the police is sent to your house, if he's calling you to tell you to come to my house because my life is at jeopardy, and all you could do because of the race of that person is slap him on the hand and listen to him tell you that he's going to come back and finish the job, you left no choice for my son to do but to defend himself. So I stand here. I don't like the fact that he might have had to take a life to save his life, but I'm standing here proud as a mother to say that he was man enough to protect his life. So when he came to San Diego, he came here just to visit. He was getting back on his feet. He had a new job. They came to my house. They let me know that he wasn't working there. When I called them to find out if my son was still working for him, yes, it was. So you knock on my door. They knocked on my door, and they wanted to build this picture of he was wanted for armed robbery. That's supposed to have happened in May. My son was killed in October. Why am I hearing about this on the day of his death? It didn't make sense. That was another flaw. And then to sit and watch my son fall in the middle streets far, far away from here and see him dying in your streets far, far away from here, it made me think, what did you do to approach him? Because he's not that type of person. He's a very mellow, down, laid-back person. He never was in a gang. He didn't do drugs. He didn't have tattoos. He was raised in a Christian house. He was brought up to know the Bible from front to back. He was man enough to cook his mother a dinner at 14 years old. I mean, a dinner. Okay? This is the house he was raised in. So for you to come and shoot him and then turn around and go into assassination mode, it just made me wonder, who are you? I look at this. We all are mothers. We gave birth to you boys, to you sons, to you men. Even some that's standing out there that's not even standing in justice. Your mother gave birth to you. You are a man, but yet still you want to take down our man. For what? To show that you are proud in your uniform? That's not a man. So I'm here to stand before you, in front of you, to let you know, Montez didn't come from trash. He wasn't nothing dumb. He was a very, very smart man. And this is not the end of my voice for him. I'm going to fight. If I win in this court, or if I lose in this court on this ground, there's a court upstairs that every police that took a life unjustified is going to have to stand up and be held accountable for it. So don't think you're getting away with it because the laws on the paper say you are justified for killing a person. Because there's a higher judge that you got to stand before and ask. And when we say you kill Lamontez, he gonna want to know why. When he say you kill Philando or Orlando or all the other ones, he gonna want to know why. So I'm just standing here to say, don't think this is the end of it. It's only just the beginning. Thank you.
A man by the name of Sergio Weck was shot, I want to say
27 times.
27 times. Thank you very much. Well, as you know, the family is here, and I want to bring them up because they have a story to tell, and they need the support because they are our family as well. So, Maria and Cruz.
Hi, I'm Maria, and I'm Sergio's aunt. And this is his cousin. His mom is coming up right now, and his widow, his son, his daughter. This is mom and little cousin. Sergio was killed by the sheriffs. There's a lot of inconsistencies. I'm sorry I didn't get your name, the lady that came before me, but yeah, I'm really bad with names. I'm sorry, but there was no cameras. Every report that they gave, there was a lot of inconsistencies. So I started recording. I started taking pictures of everything and keeping track of everything. They tell us one story, they tell the news another story and everything, and as it turned out, the medical examiner ruled it a homicide. But of course, the officers are out and about. Claims have been filed and everything, so we don't really know. It's too early to tell. They won't tell us until November if they're going to file charges against the police officers. We hope and pray that they do.
There you go.
Yeah, but that's really all. It's too early to tell anything. Sergio was unarmed, but they tell us that he came out shooting at him, but yet his right hand was pretty much shot off. But I don't know how he could have been holding a gun. He was shot literally from his head to his toes. All on the left side and in the back and in the front. But again, they claim that he came out shooting, and yet they didn't find any weapons. A week later, when they executed a search warrant, somehow or other it magically appeared that there was weapons, shotguns, drugs, knives, swords, and all kinds of wonderful stuff in his car. So I don't know how they're going to make those stick. It was literally 10 days after he had passed. So I hope and pray, that they do press charges. Hopefully with everybody's prayers, they will. In the meantime, we just have to sit and wait because it's too early for us. But that's where we're at.
Your case impacted me a lot coming from LA, seriously.
Yeah. I don't know what to say, but the only thing I hold on to is the fact that I held on to every single report, every single statement they made, every single thing, and everything is different. Every statement that was made was different. So I don't know how they're going to get out of that one. Thank you.
So I would like to bring up those that are going to be talking about the life of Simon Hubble and the life of Mark Carrasco. I think it's very important that we say their names. How about all of them? Say their names.
Take away.
Lamontes Jones, say their names.
Victor Ortega. Angel Lopez.
Angel Lopez, Victor Ortega. Thank you. So here we have Jenny.
Thank you. It's been a year since my nephew was murdered by the sheriff's deputies. He had schizoaffective disorder, so he had a mental disability. His social worker called the police, called the sheriffs, because he was suicidal, and they came out and they killed him. Well, then my sister tried to go to her dying son, and the police threatened to arrest her if she would go to her dying son. Then they searched her house and took away computers, phones, things that she's never even gotten back at. And they did not officially tell her son was dead. She found out that he was dead on the 11 o'clock news. Simon was 33 years old. This is the kind of kid Simon was. He was at Dog Beach one day. He saw a man having a seizure. He called 911, and while the man was in the hospital, my nephew took care of his dog until he recovered. My nephew's a good kid. He was no angel. He had problems. He had a mental disability, and a mental disability is not a crime punishable by death. He was shot 5 times in the chest. Now, my family has been affected now twice. The sheriff's deputies took my nephew Simon last year, but in 2011, on March 5th, my granddaughter, Jasmine Carrasco, lost her father, who was shot 9 times in his bed. Mark Carrasco. And he was a hard worker, an electrician, a good father to his 2 daughters, and a good friend to those who knew him. I'm going to let Jasmine say a little bit about her father.
Sorry, sometimes I laugh to keep myself from crying, but
it's okay, baby.
I'm glad to see that all of us are here to support a good cause from all these tragic losses, and it's terrible. It's sad to see that everyone else is suffering just like my family suffered because of my father's death. My family is completely broken apart, and it's left myself and plenty of other people with terrible depression. And I'm glad to see all of you guys here, and it really makes me happy to see that there are good people in this world, and to not let the negative, just, what do you say, Mom? You say like, don't let the negative overcome the positive. There, sorry. So yeah.
Mark Carrasco, unfortunately, the police had the scene and there was no one else there. His aunt had called the police on him and said that he had a knife. He had no knife. He was lying in his bed. He bled out into his mattress because he hadn't even gotten out of his bed, shot 9 times. And there has been no justice for Mark, and there has been no justice for my nephew Simon. So our family has lost 2 people, and San Diego PD and the sheriffs. And there still hasn't been any justice. And so today, I'm going to let my daughter speak. We come together to try and end this.
I just want to say really quick, Mark's mother, Elisa Rodriguez, couldn't be here today. Simon's mother, Sherry Hubble, couldn't be here today, and I just want to tell them both that I love them tremendously and to keep being strong, and we're all here to support one another.
Okay. This is a painting made by my daughter. We want to auction it off, and we want to donate any monies from it to the families who need to bury their loved ones.
Thank you so much. So, some of you might have picked up. I'm a little flustered because there were so many cops that were surrounding what they deemed as Jeremy Henwood Memorial Park. They care more about protecting that sign than they do about protecting the people in the park, or anywhere else for that matter. This sign right here, which we were going to erect in that position, but I just wanted to talk about it for 5 seconds. So from 1980, from Border Patrol, jails, sheriffs, Escondido, Carlsbad, San Diego Police Department, every single branch of law enforcement that have killed somebody, that's the total since 1980, and this is only 1980. Since 1913, there's only been about maybe 30 cops that have died, and I will say that, I will clarify that. That includes from natural deaths and being off duty. There is no war on cops. There is no war on cops, and this is proof. This is proof. We needed, there was 30 cops in this park guarding a sign? Are you fucking kidding me? On your bikes? What the fuck? Excuse me.
In about 20
It
took them 15 minutes to get from Alfred to get to
50.
on 50.
15 minutes to get to Alfred Alongo.
So there you go. There is no war on cops. There is somebody who was killed in Santa Clara by Santa Clara County Sheriffs. They are currently in San Diego right now. Please welcome Lara Guzman. And this is from A Stolen Life back in 1986. And the pains are still there. So it's very important that y'all hear everybody out. Doesn't matter if it was yesterday, doesn't matter if it was 30 years ago.
Hi, my name is Laura Guzman, and I lost my father, Andrew Luis Guzman, to police brutality in 1986. I stand before you tonight to share my story of the aftermath of losing my father to police brutality when I was 7, to hopefully illuminate a universal language that I hope can transcend race. The language that comes from children who are suffering from the horrible trauma of losing their father to police violence. I recognize that simply because of the color of my skin, this somehow translates into what is known as white privilege. And for me to be silent about racial inequality is to be on the side of the oppressor, and this I will not do.
Yes.
My story is that after police killed my father, they sued my mother for their pain and suffering, and won. They won. My mother had to pay the sheriffs that killed her husband money. I wrote this poem called Dear Chalk Outline, in which I am writing a letter to a friend turned foe. The yellow chalk that was the last thing that I saw of my father. Dear Chalk Outline, the first time we met was the night of January 9th, 1986, the night my father was killed. It's been so long since I've seen you. I'm terrified I will forget you. You are my father's last embrace, the goodbye I never got to say. Somehow, if I can get to you, you can lead me to him and erase what happened that terrible night when the light inside of myself, my sister, and my mom was ripped out of our hearts and extinguished. The sound of my father's voice woke me up that night. Quietly, I went over to my bedroom door. It was open a crack, and I strained to see out in the blackness. I was scared of night, of the blindness it welcomed. As I pushed open the door, it voiced its opposition by sighing a somber squeak, like a parent eager to protect his child, but giving in to their emerging independence. I moved towards the elegant staircase to my left, the polished mahogany railing directly in front of me. I looked up at the antique chandelier hanging over the curved staircase. It was 100 years old, a survivor. It was so beautiful. I wish that I could escape into its buoyant beauty, its crystals like tiny shards of the sun. I could hide there almost invisible, and I could be forgotten in the delicate light it hesitantly cast on the room. Suddenly, the sound of a doorbell ring pierced in through the darkness. I leapt out of bed to see my mother open the door to let 2 policemen in, actually sheriffs. She ascended the stairs quickly and ushered me into my sister's room. And then I heard a sound I cannot remember. I've searched my memory ever since. That lost sound, the sound that changed me forever, the sound of gunshots that struck my father's heart. That same heart that helped him work hard as a migrant worker and then helped him realize his dream of becoming a doctor. That same heart that gave patients his home phone number. The same heart that instructed me to feed animals first because they were helpless and to take care of helpless people before myself. The next sound I heard after the gunshot was a gut-wrenching howling that seemed to belong to some kind of unformed being. I realized that this haunting scream was produced by my sister, a cry I never want to hear again. It was as if her soul was being torn from deep within her, and it was screaming out in agony as its attempt to fight off imminent death. The police left you there, my friend, the yellow chalk outline. I wished I could somehow turn you into that colored chalk that children draw pictures with on their sunny, safe sidewalks. I was there the day most of you disappeared. My mother, with her auburn hair spilling over her shoulders, made you go away with a sponge. I love you, outline, but that day I was that sponge, finally useful as a tool to erase this portrait of her pain. Her suffering seeped into me as if it was my own. The memory of watching her on her hands and knees, scrubbing the chalk outline, is like a dark nightmare bearing the echo of a scream that permanently inhabits my soul. There are no words, no sounds I can use as a means of communicating the overwhelming guilt I felt for my mother. I stood there in my vast uselessness, my eyes cloaked in desperation, could only stare. When no one was around, I used to look for remnants of you across the surface of the violently cold maroon tile. I used to curl up next to you and beg for you to have been my chalk outline and not my father's. One day I could not find you, chalk outline. I panic, the demanding thud of my pulse vibrating in my ear. I search desperately for you, begging you not to leave me. And finally I find you lying helpless atop the cement, and I collapse in a ball next to you. It's been 30 years since we left that house, but I still see you, chalk outline. I see you in the tears of Cameron Sterling as he cries, "I want my daddy." And I see you in the voice of a little girl telling her mama, "It's okay, I'm right here with you." And the desperate pleas of a man pleading for his life, saying, "Please don't shoot." But now my old friend my old friend, it's time for you to go. It's time for you to be driven out from our society, away from the countless African American and Latino victims. Because you see, my friend, you hold inside of your yellow chalk the memory of police brutality, the existence of it. Our broken hearts will only mend once you're gone. And I want to dedicate this to all members of Black Lives Matter and the groups here tonight. After 30 years of silence, you have set me free and given me a voice. Thank you so much. I love you.
So this is very important. Is anybody here streaming right now?
Michael Buell.
Michael Buell, okay. So it is unfortunate that the family of Thong Soon Valasane wasn't able to be with us here tonight. The sister, who's currently in Texas, unfortunately could not join us. And the extended family happens to be working at this time. October 20th, as Victoria said, is when Lamontis Jones was killed. October 20th is also the birthday of Thong Soon and his sister Anoy. And we want to celebrate them here too, because I know that it really devastated them the minute it happened. And let's just all get together and we're gonna sing happy birthday to Thong Soon and Anoy. So on the count of 3, we're gonna start, all right? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Thong Soon and Anoy. Day to you. Justice for Thong Soon! Justice for Thong Soon! For all of y'all, and I should have mentioned this at the very, very beginning, Thong Soon of Southeast San Diego, part of the Laotian community, was shot 40 times by police. Where is the outrage? Where is the outrage here in San Diego? He was just backing up a car. He was backing up his car. It wasn't even the car. They were suspicious of the house. And he was shot 40 fucking times. Unbelievable, man. Like, and this is hard. This is hard for the families to come out. And that's why they need as much support as possible, because they have a lot going against them.
Yeah. For the families.
For the families. Families first. Events like this are about them and always will be and should. Everybody affected. So I gotta bring a freedom fighter up here. She's we have the same birthday. I've known her for about 6 years, ever since her and I came to San Diego. Please welcome another person that I hold here dear to my heart. She helped organize this. Please welcome Bertie Gutierrez and Maria Puga.
was murdered, we had a vigil that was planned, and we continued that vigil at the border. It was an anniversary of Valeria Monita Chiquin, a mother of 5 children that was gunned down 9 fucking times by the U.S. Border Patrol. You know what's sad about this? Is that we had to end that vigil early because we wanted to come and pay our respects to Alfred Alongo's family. That's fucking bullshit. It's fucking bullshit that we have to fucking make a decision on how long we're gonna mourn a loved one that was murdered by the U.S. Border Patrol and another family that was murdered by the fucking police. That's bullshit. We're tired of you motherfuckers killing our families. We're sick and tired of it. You know what? Our biggest enemy is the indifference of our people. Black, Chicano, Asian, all people of color. We are failing our community because of the indifference of not giving a shit because it doesn't affect your family directly, and that shit has to stop. Rise up. We gotta rise up together, united. That's the only way we're gonna defeat this system. We cannot sit back and wait until it affects one of our own loved ones. And we have to heal together. So many of our families are destroyed because of the murders of the system. And we need to help them. We need to help them heal. And we can only do that as a community. And we can only do our rising up together as a community. Because until all of us are free, none of us are free. This is a fucking problem that is global. Our people, Africans, Haitians are at our border right now, trying to come in because they live in extreme poverty and devastation, extreme violence. Hondurans, Guatemalans, and Salvadorians. And the United States caused this shit. The U.S. caused this shit. Our fucking system here. And I don't give a fuck about voting and all that shit because if you think that fucking putting one person in power is gonna make a difference, it's not. It's the system that's corrupted. It's the system that's fucked up. So we need to come together and change the shit from the bottom up. Because as soon as we start moving, shit's gonna start changing. And I call on all the youth right now to rise up because the future is in your hands. And I call on all the elders to teach our young ones about real freedom, mental freedom, raising consciousness. Change this goddamn system that's what the fuck. It's not serving our people. It's not. I want to talk about my sister right here, Maria. She's turned into a fierce warrior, not only because her husband got assassinated by the U.S. Border Patrol and Customs agents. 12 of them beat him to death. They fucking electrocuted his head until he died. They also humiliated him by taking off his pants while they beat him to death at the border. Maria is still standing strong, although there were witnesses and videos about this fucking murder, brutal murder. They still close the case, as they are closing all the cases. 46 from 2010 down. Not one Border Patrol agent has been held accountable. That's bullshit. That's fucking bullshit because there was witnesses and there were videos that took pictures that was... The whole world saw this. And the case has just been recently closed, earlier last year. All these cases are being closed, including the case of the murders of our brothers and sisters with impunity. No one held accountable. Fuck this system. Fuck this system. Maria is a fierce warrior that has come out defending all victims of police brutality, all victims of Border Patrol brutality. Fuck this Department of Homeland Insecurity bullshit. You ain't some fucking security shit. How many fucking terrorists have you caught? You ain't catch fishy shit. You're murdering our people who have been used to migrating for hundreds of years. This is our fucking land. I want to introduce Maria so she can say a few words, because her heart is broken right now because they keep closing cases and everything, but we can't let the system continue to do this to us. We have to continue resisting. And most important, we have to come around and care about each other, lift each other up. When our families are hurting, look for them. Find out how they're doing. If they need help monetary-wise, because especially when one of the supporters of the family, as in Maria's case, her husband was a good provider. Now she's left with 5 children to raise by herself. So we need to get under our families, all of our families that have had loved ones taken from them, and find out how they're doing. The only way that we're going to get through this is to get through this together and to love one another and come together in unity. This is Maria Puga, wife of Anastasio Hernández Rojas.
Buenas noches, mi nombre es María Puga. Lo que Berta ya me presentó. Algunos de ustedes conocen el caso de mi esposo. Mayo 28, 2010, ese hombre que iba a ser deportado y fue brutalmente asesinado por más de 13 agentes. 13 agentes cobardes, como yo siempre he dicho. Porque si ustedes miran los videos, en ningún momento mi esposo estaba resistiendo. Fue un abuso brutal. Él fue humillado, le quitaron su ropa, lo golpearon hasta que se cansaron, hasta que lo asesinaron. Así fue. Desde ese tiempo yo comencé esta lucha porque dije, no puede ser posible que estos señores, porque traen su plaquita, porque traen su uniforme, pueden hacer lo que les da su regalada gana. He estado luchando por más de 6 años y aunque mi caso se cerró, yo sigo aquí porque yo no quiero que ninguno de ustedes, ninguno de los que están aquí sufran lo mismo que yo sufrí. He luchado por 6 años y voy a seguir luchando porque no es justo. Aquí estamos mirando que son, ¿cuántos son que han sido abusados por la policía? Han sido asesinados por la policía. Si se fijan, si no es un hermano afroamericano que es asesinado por la policía, es un hermano mexicano que es asesinado por la patrulla fronteriza. Es una guerra contra nosotros, señores. ¿Y qué es lo que debemos hacer? Estar unidos, estar alzando la voz. Porque si nosotros no alzamos la voz, ellos van a seguir con su brutalidad, con todo eso que están haciendo.
Muchísimas gracias, María. I want to interpret what she said, that we all have to come together in unity. What happened to her husband, she doesn't want that to happen to any other person's family, any other person, because now she's having to deal with raising the children on her own. And it's very difficult. I've seen the struggles that Maria has been going through. Her children are devastated. They're traumatized. And that's another thing that I haven't mentioned about what these motherfuckers are doing to us, is they're traumatizing our families as mothers, as givers of life. We worry now every fucking time that our kids go out the door because we got motherfuckers like that across the street that are hunting our children down and killing them. And it doesn't matter whether you broke the law or not, whether you got a broken light or not, they're still killing our families. So we need to resist, and we need to fight together, united, black and brown, united. Yes. Yes. Black and brown, united, black and brown, united, black and brown, united, black and brown, united. La placa, la migra, la misma porquería. La placa, la migra, la misma porquería.
La placa, la migra.
No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Thank you.
Sí, y como les digo, o sea, han sido tantos, son igual las deportaciones deportaciones, son más de 1.200 deportaciones por día, niños, hombres y mujeres que nos están haciendo. Entonces, creo que aquí todos tenemos que tener conciencia, todos somos hermanos, todos tenemos que luchar por nosotros. Y más que nos está afectando a nosotros, los hermanos afroamericanos, y nosotros, los mexicanos, tenemos que unirnos. Y les pido aquí, si hay la mayoría, yo sé que aquí somos hermanos afroamericanos, latinos, que nos unamos. Tenemos que hacer una lucha en grande, porque la unión hace la fuerza. Tenemos que ser una sola voz, porque nuestra voz no tiene frontera, nuestra voz no tiene límite. Tenemos que ser, nosotros vamos a hacer los cambios. Y tenemos que hacer los cambios.
I want to present next Trinidad Ceseña. She's a mother of Francisco Ceseña, who was murdered at the border as well. Francisco was in Mexico visiting his father, and when he was crossing the border, he got beaten to death. Okay, she's going to explain to you in detail how that came about. But this is what I'm talking about our border patrol. The border patrol doesn't give a shit whether you got documents or you don't got documents. Valeria Monita Chiquin was an American citizen. Francisco Ceseña was an American citizen. So it doesn't fucking matter. They have a right to be within 100 miles from the border, so they can affect your lives as well. And that's why it's important. It doesn't matter what kind of law enforcement it is, they're all fucked up. They're all a bunch of murderers. They're a bunch of murderers. So here's Trinidad Ceseña.
Buenas tardes a todos. Yo sé que algunos no nos van a entender, pero mi nombre es Trinidad Ceseña. Soy la mamá de Francisco Ceseña, muerto por la patrulla fronteriza, por el CBP, así como fue Anastasio. Mi hijo fue muerto el 24 de diciembre a las 7 de la noche. Venía él de Puerto Vallarta a visitarnos, a pasar Navidad y Año Nuevo con nosotros. Nunca llegó, hasta la fecha no ha llegado, va a ser para 2 años. Yo sé que todos los que estamos aquí tienen un dolor igual que el que nosotros tenemos. Este dolor no pasa ni de día ni de noche. Pero ¿qué es lo que necesitamos hacer? Pues justicia, que se unan todos, que unámonos todos. En veces yo flaqueo y digo, yo no voy a seguir porque yo no veo nada claro. Pero en veces cuando veo toda la gente que está pasando por lo que nosotros pasamos y estamos pasando todavía, porque ahí viene Navidad y nosotros, ¿qué Navidad vamos a pasar? La Navidad se acabó para nosotros, para todos se acabó la vida de las personas, ya no es la misma. Uno se acaba de ver gente nueva que se está uniendo a esta lucha. El año pasado no estaba la gente de Vista, no estaba la gente del Cajón, no estaba gente desconocida que estamos pasando por lo mismo. Yo pido a toda la gente que está en este camino donde estamos nosotros, que nos apoyen, que se unan. No sé si ya supiste que el domingo va a haber una en Balboa, ¿no? Mañana a las 5 de la tarde. Mañana a las 5 de la tarde va a haber otra conferencia allí en el Balboa Park. Quizás nos unamos otra vez, alguno de ustedes, si quisiera acompañarnos. Y pues yo lo único que puedo decir es que la gente que está en esta lucha, seguir adelante, que siga adelante, porque como le digo, yo en veces flaqueo y digo, yo ya no voy a seguir porque me siento cansada, me siento que no veo las cosas, a lo contrario, veo más muertes por la policía, en vez de ayudar. ¿Con qué confianza le vamos a hablar a la policía y decir, ¿sabes qué? Hay que hablarle a la policía porque hay un problema aquí en el vecindario, digamos. Si la policía no apoya, la policía llega matando. ¿Ok? Entonces, ¿qué confianza le vamos a tener a la policía? ¿O qué confianza hay para decir yo voy a pasar la frontera? Si ahí asesinaron a mi hijo, ¿cómo voy a pasar la frontera? ¿Cómo? ¿Qué valor voy a tener para cruzar la frontera? ¿Qué si allí sacaron a mi hijo muerto, ciudadano americano, venía a pasar Navidad con nosotros? ¿Ellos qué excusa dan? Ninguna. ¿Ok? ¿Qué derecho hay a matar la gente? ¿Por qué no le pegan en las piernas, que caigan, no a tirar a matar? Ellos no tiran a las piernas, ellos tiran tasas a matar. Ellos estudiaron para eso, estudiaron para proteger a la gente, estudiaron, o si es que entre comillas están estudiados, porque no creo, porque es una bola de asesinos. ¿Ok? El mexicano es asesino, el de color es asesino. ¿Y ellos qué? ¿Ellos en qué lugar quedan? ¿Cómo se presentan? ¿Cómo se presentan? ¿Cómo se presentan? ¿De buenas personas? Mentiras. Está bien, yo pienso que entre todos ellos debe de haber una o dos personas que sean buenas. No digo que todos son malos. Pero si todos los que tienen al frente son para matar, pues no. ¿Ok? Yo digo, no hay ley, no hay gobierno, no hay un supervisor para que hable con ellos y les diga, ¿sabes qué? Esto está mal. No debe de ser así. Si ustedes están en peligro, a los pies. ¿Por qué directamente a la espalda todo el tiempo? ¿Por qué todo el tiempo tienen que tirar a la espalda? Si es el CBP, a la espalda. El individuo cae. 7 shocks eléctricos le dieron a mi hijo en la espalda. ¿Ok? Iba a vivir. ¿Ok? Al muchacho que acaban de matar del cajón la familia que está aquí. ¿Qué bajó el policía? ¡Tas! ¿Okay? ¿Y qué? Hay justicia en todo eso. Tenemos años la gente luchando por eso, porque haya justicia. Y no hay justicia. La justicia divina es la única que vamos a tener. Porque la terrenal, yo lo dudo mucho. ¿Ok? Ahora, otra cosa. Está desocupado, ya está suspendido bajo sueldo. Óyeme, pues hasta yo también. ¿Sabes qué, Trinidad? Te vamos a suspender el trabajo, pero te vamos a pagar. Pues yo diario estaría suspendida. ¿Y ellos por qué lo suspenden y con sueldo? Entonces, ¿qué hacen? ¿Dormir hasta la hora que les da la gana? Sin decir, ¿sabes qué? La familia que está sufriendo, las familias que matamos. Como les dije yo el año pasado al cruzar la línea, allí donde hicimos la protesta, el día que tú te sientes a cenar en la noche y que te falte un hijo, vas a decir, oh, me acuerdo de la vieja loca que estaba hablando allá, que su hijo ya no lo tiene para cenar. ¿Qué es lo que deja todo esto? Tristeza, recuerdos, impotencia y trastornos hasta mentales, porque lo único que tiene uno, puras terapias. ¿Y qué? Tienes que hacerte la idea de que tu hijo ya no está contigo. Tienes que hacerte la idea de que tu hijo ya no va a regresar. Tienes que seguir adelante. Y el sufrimiento que lleva uno aquí, de todos los días, ¿quién lo cura? ¿Quién nos va a curar todo eso que llevamos adentro? Nosotros, ¿cómo estuvimos el día de Valeria, que fuimos al meeting que tuvimos allá al cruzar de la línea? Acababan de matar al hijo de la señora ahí. ¿Qué dijimos? Nos vamos a unir con ellos para seguir adelante. A mí me dio mucho gusto que ellos estén aquí, porque nosotros como mexicanos también nos queremos. Todos queremos a los americanos, queremos a los afroamericanos, queremos a la gente de color, queremos a nosotros mismos los mexicanos. Entonces, ¿por qué no unirnos entre todos para poder seguir adelante y encontrar justicia con esto? Con uno que sea castigado, ya sea el que mató a él, el que mató a mi hijo, el que mató a los muchachos estos de Vista, a los que mataron al muchacho que acaban de matar. Con uno que se haga justicia, nosotros ganamos. Con uno que diga, ¿sabes qué? El policía fulano, el emigrante fulano ya está en la cárcel por la muerte de fulano. Ok, no importa quién sea, no importa quién sea, pero que haya justicia, que haya justicia. Con uno nos conformamos. Y esta lucha vamos a decir, ok, ganamos la lucha porque el hijo de la señora o el hijo del señor o el hermano o el primo o el pariente o tu hijo, lo que sea, se hizo justicia. Ahí es cuando vamos a decir, hay justicia en el mundo. Pero no fuera un americano porque, vámonos, rapidito, rapidito. No muy lejos, ¿qué caso fue el que agarraron hace poquito? Que hasta, no, el muchacho que mató, no sé dónde, en Vista, no sé quién fue, un muchacho que mató a alguien. Pena de muerte ya. ¿Por qué? Porque era mexicano el muchacho. Rapidito, la pena de muerte. Y todo el tiempo están locos, tenía problemas mentales. Rapidito, ¿sabes qué? No, pues ahí se queda porque tiene problemas mentales. ¿Y el mexicano qué? ¿Y el afroamericano qué? ¿Y la gente de color qué? Esa no está loca. Pero los americanos sí. Todos están locos, ¿por qué? Porque así lo puso la ley. ¿Ok? Y pena de muerte para el mexicano porque mató a fulano. ¿Ok? Porque mató al perro del policía. Porque mató al policía. Pena de muerte rapidito. ¿Y nosotros qué? Los mexicanos, pues hay que se queden. Los afroamericanos, pues hay que se queden. Y el dolor que vamos cargando todos los días, de día y de noche, al amanecer y al anochecer, que vemos que los hijos no llegaron. ¿Qué está pasando? ¿Qué está pasando, señor? Esperemos con el nuevo gobierno. A ver si hay apoyo. ¿Ok? A ver si hay cambios. Yo todo el tiempo es lo que me pongo a pensar. ¿Habrá un jefe en la patrulla fronteriza? Debe de haber un jefe que mande a los de la patrulla. ¿Ok? ¿Qué está pasando? En la policía debe de haber un jefe. Le dice, oiga, bolas de cabezas vengan para acá. ¿Quién les ordena a ustedes que maten? Porque el policía pensó que traía pistola. Porque el policía pensó que estaba en peligro. Por eso, mano. Salen los videos, todos los videos donde sas. No hay justicia. ¿Qué está pasando? ¿Qué está pasando? Unámonos todos para seguir adelante.
Todos sabemos aquí que la policía y la migra está fuera de control, que no tienen un buen de entrenamiento, que son los trabajos más fáciles que hay ahorita, que si ustedes se meten a la página está abierto para conseguir trabajo, que si no es para la policía es para el patrón. Pero ¿qué tenemos que hacer? Unirnos todos para decir ya basta. Están asesinando a nuestros hermanos afroamericanos, están asesinando a nuestros hermanos latinos. Entonces, nosotros tenemos la solución, compañeros. Nosotros tenemos la solución. Hay que unirnos. Hay que salir y gritar si ya estuvo suave. Ya nos hartamos de tanta impunidad, tanta injusticia. Mira a esta señora sufriendo por la pérdida de su hijo. A mí me da un chingo de coraje. Me desespera que han pasado años después del caso de mi esposo y han pasado muchos casos, miles de casos. Y el mío, que era un caso bien claro, no tuvo justicia, pero aún así yo aquí estoy peleando por su caso, por el caso de aquí de nuestras compañeras, por todos los casos que han abiertos. Y les pido a ustedes que nos sigan apoyando para que estos casos tengan justicia, porque sin ustedes no podemos hacer nada. Entonces, lo que les pido es que nos apoyen y alce la voz. Ahorita somos varios, pero todos los que estamos aquí somos gente con conciencia. Somos gentes que decimos, ya basta. Hay gente ya aplastada viendo televisión, es lo que a mí me desespera. Allá nomás sin saber lo que está pasando, pero Dios quiera y nunca les pase nada, porque si no van a estar aquí parados donde yo estoy. Entonces, vamos a pasar la voz. No esperes que te pase esto, no esperes estar aquí parada, hablando, sufriendo. Entonces, porque sin justicia no hay paz. ¿Qué queremos?
¡Justicia!
¿Cuándo? Gracias, compañeros, y a seguir luchando, porque si nos rajamos no se va a hacer nada. La policía, la misma porquería.
I want to interpret a little bit of what Trinidad was saying. She's venting her frustration because no one's ever held accountable for any of the deaths when it comes to our Chicano, Mexicano, or black brothers and sisters. And she's very frustrated that all of them get suspended with a paid fucking vacation, and nobody's ever really held accountable. And also, she wants to say what happened in El Cajon when with Alfredo Longo. She lives in El Cajon, and she has her grandchildren, her grandsons that live with her. And it affects her on a daily basis, because this is what I'm talking about, community trauma. The fact that since that day in that community, her grandchildren are living in fear. When they found out that there was a shooting, that somebody was murdered, that Alfred was murdered, her children ran to the windows and they started closing the windows and locking the doors and saying the police are coming to kill us. Are you listening, police? You traumatize our children, grandchildren. This is what you guys are doing. Now this person whose family, her son has already been murdered, now her grandchildren are living with trauma. All of our children are living with trauma because of what you are doing, with impunity, with no accountability. And it's over, it's done. Stop the killing. Stop killing our families. Stop killing our families. Stop killing our families. Thank you, sister.
Bertie Gutierrez. Woman warrior in the struggle. I love her like a sister. So glad that they can come out tonight. So we have a few more speakers. There is a young woman. I'm sure some of you are familiar when Trump came to town. How fucking horrendous was that? We do have somebody that can give a testimony, and I want to give her. We have a couple more speakers, and then we can try to decide if we're going to be more. So there will be an open mic for anything that's going on right now. But please welcome Serena.
Hi everybody, my name is Sarina Sanchez. I'm happy to be here representing myself, representing my brother. I'm wearing his shirt right now. I don't even know where to start. As Catherine said, I was arrested. I don't know if you told him. I was arrested recently, convicted of felony grand theft at the Donald Trump protest on May 27th.
Fuck Donald Trump! Fuck Donald Trump!
Right? Shoot, y'all already know. On May 27th, the Donald Trump protest at the convention center, the police attacked the youth. There were two youth who stood up on a ledge in front of the police. And they had flags, that's right, you remember, you were there. The police told these two youth to get down off the ledge. One of the youth did not. The police then grabbed him violently from behind, could have broken this young brother's back. He was 15, 16 years old, a Mexican Chicano youth up there. We know that this is how our youth get treated in the hood, in our neighborhoods every day. They are harassed. And for us to see this happen and go down right in front of our eyes in a fucking protest is unacceptable. Unacceptable. So I stepped in. I don't know where the other security was that day. I don't know where they were, but someone had to do it. So me and some other people stepped in. And in an effort to divert the police's attention from the youth, I grabbed a policeman's walkie-talkie accidentally. And a month later, the policeman didn't even know the walkie-talkie was missing. He didn't even know. Okay, he didn't even notice. A month later, I was arrested at the border, crossing the border, going from my house to work.
You're welcome.
They had led a whole investigation for a whole month to figure out who little old me was, right? They're investing millions of dollars in this city to surveil us. We are being surveilled right now. Why? Why is our money, our tax dollars going to this? Why are we not standing up and saying, hey, stop? Like, I'm tired, y'all, of saying stop killing us. Because they don't care. They're not going to stop. We need to get organized. organized. We can't be getting arrested at protests. We can't afford that no more, y'all. We can't. We need to get organized. We need to study our history. We need to know our rights. Look at the Black Panthers. Let's learn from them. Let's continue that legacy. They organized for their community. Huey P. Newton, he had a PhD. That brother was educated, y'all. We have so much access to information on the computer, on the internet. There is no excuse. We need to get organized. We need to take the power back. There are more of us than them. That's all I have to say, y'all. My brother, rest in peace. He died as a result of a heroin overdose back in 2005, y'all. My mama has been addicted to heroin since before I was born. My father the same with his father. Do y'all know that the CIA brought crack cocaine into our communities in the 80s? Yeah. That is a fact. That is not no conspiracy theory. That's a fact.
Yep.
And we have to deal with this today. And guess what? In the 80s too, that's when all these people started getting incarcerated. How many of our relatives are incarcerated today? How many? Too fucking many for no fucking reason. And yet these police are out here walking free? Right. It makes no sense, y'all. So you know what? I'm happy to see all of y'all here in honor of my brother. Thank you. And, all power to the people. Let's do this. Let's do this. All power to the people. All power to the people. Thank you.
Stop watching the Chargers. Stop worrying about what the Kardashians are doing. And go out to the streets.
That's right. That's right. All right, y'all. Well, I'm so happy to have soldiers from El Cajon be with us tonight. Yes, ma'am. If y'all can come up, I know you got some stories to share. After this, we're gonna be wrapping up and see if we can do a short march, a safe march, together.
From San Diego to NYC, fuck police brutality. From San Diego to NYC, fuck police brutality.
From San Diego to NYC.
Fuck police brutality.
Fuck the police, period. Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out and showing your support and standing with all these families during this time. I know today is the National Day for standing against police brutality, but some of these people I'm just now finding out about. I didn't know about Sergio. I didn't know about a lot of these people. A lot of these stories are like, this is the first time I'm hearing about it. So it's kind of crazy that all this stuff happens in the city we live in or in the state we live in, and we never know about it. The police will continue to cover stuff up, which is why the day that Alfred Alongo was killed, I went on Facebook Live. It wasn't because I wanted recognition or I wanted some credit, but we all know what happens. After they do something they know they have no business doing, they cover it up, and then it's, well, it was that person's fault. Well, we did our best, and we're going to continue to fight to make sure that he gets justice. The day all this happened, we had over 300 people out there standing with us and supporting us, and as time has went by, there's less and less people there. So there's still people trying to stand out there and protest, but the police keep coming out there and fucking with us and harassing us. They're trying to take away our freedom of speech and our freedom to assemble. They did take one of our fellow brothers and try to keep him in jail. They kept him for over 72 hours. They raised his bail up to $500,000 because they try to break our spirits. And this is for a gun that they did not find, of a gun that they did not have. They raided his family members' houses. They've called different organizations on him. I mean, they've tried to do everything to scare him enough to come and tell us what they did so they could break our spirit. But that's not what we're going for. Thank you for doing what you did. We don't appreciate it, but thank you, because now you've done nothing but fuel our fire even more. We're going to continue to stand up for all these families. We're going to continue to stand up for all these families. If you guys need anything, I don't know, find me on Facebook, hit me, let me know. I will do my best to help you out. Anybody out here, like all of us, we've been here since day one. We've been standing out here, and we've watched some of our friends get arrested. And every time the police come out there in their riot gear, it's never because we're doing something. They just come out and they stand there in riot gear. Now, if you're standing in front of me with a stick looking like you're going to beat me, don't you think I'm going to be a little bit aggravated? Don't you think I'm going to feel the need to want to respond to what you're doing? So that's what's been going on to us in El Cajon. They continue to violate our rights, and we will continue to stand for Alfred. But we just found out about all these amazing families who went through this very fucked up situation, and we're going to continue to stand for you guys too, and pray and hope that you get justice. Because now, I mean, we've been saying no justice, no peace, no racist police, but how long are we going to have to chant that before we get some justice? So in El Cajon, we've decided that we're changing that to justice or else. You're going to give us justice. We're not asking you, we're telling you, you're going to give us justice or else. We don't want any of your excuses. We don't want any of your stories. All these people that commit these crimes, murdering someone is a crime. If I shoot her, that's a crime. I go to jail, right? So if I have a badge, what makes the difference? Your badge should not be the difference between whether you're committing murder or you're doing your job. That's not okay. So we want justice or else. The person who did this, Richard Gonslaves, it's Gonslaves, girl. Richard, I looked it up. It's Richard Gonslaves. His last name makes me want to say some inappropriate things, but I'm not going to do it. He has to be fired. There's no reason why he should be on paid leave right now. That's right. Anyone who's ever committed such a crime, they should not be on paid leave. Because every time we protest and people go to jail, that bail money we're using to get people out is paying that person paid leave for killing someone. And we don't agree with that. We're going to continue to be nonviolent and stand for justice for all these families. But we just hope that when we put out the word that we're going to stand together, please, everybody, do your best to make it there. We do our best. We have our own security people. I don't know, the people that was just standing over there, they left. They've been there helping us. The Nation of Islam has been there helping us, and even the community has been there helping us. So when you find out anything like this, for it doesn't matter which family it is, go out and support, because when we have numbers, they say there's strength in numbers, and that's really true. Because when we had 300 people that night, someone threw a bottle over the thing, and the police did not react because they knew the minute they chose to do something, everyone would erupt and something would happen. So when there's 30 of us sitting there praying and grieving for a loved one, they come and arrest us. I don't know if you guys saw the videos, if you guys heard, but with dogs and riot police, and there was kids there, they came and they arrested people. That doesn't make sense to me. And then for the property owner at Poncho's, that whole little strip mall, we are going to boycott that. We will not be using any more of your services. Thank you. We're done with you, just like you're done with us. According to what he's told people, or whoever he told, they told me that he says he has given us enough time to grieve. So you mean to tell me that this man has been buried for a week and somehow his whole family, the new family he has now that's giving support to his family, we're supposed to stop crying, we're supposed to stop fighting because you deem it the time has passed? 3 weeks is enough to grieve a family. It's families that's been here. Shekinah Ortega said 4 years she's been doing this. So you mean to tell me 3 weeks is enough? What about her? She's been doing this for 4 years. She's been here since the 80s. So who are you to decide that that's enough time for us to grieve and stand for our loved one? That doesn't make sense to me. So no matter where you go, say their names for everybody to know. We put on our Facebook, if you can, every hour on the hour, whatever social media you have, say his name or say her name, and those that know you, those that know what you stand for, will say the people's names. So if we say his name, you shout out the name of the person whose life was stolen by the police, because they need to know and understand, while they're standing over there wasting taxpayers' money, while they're standing over there wasting our money guarding a sign, it's somebody getting robbed right now. It's a woman out there getting raped. It's somebody getting killed. It's somebody somewhere that you guys need to be, but you're standing here guarding a sign. We weren't even going to touch your sign. We could give 2 fucks about your sign. We're not here for that. You can call this park whatever you want to. We'll dub it whatever we want to when we're here. So we might just call this the Stolen Lives Park, because that's what y'all do. Y'all steal lives from people. A lot of people don't get to live all the way. They don't get to see that last moment. They don't get to have grandkids. They don't get to get married. Alfred Alongo will not see his child go to prom. He will not see her graduate. He will not see her get married or have kids. And I'm supposed to stand here and say, it's okay, I'm done grieving? No. That will never happen. They say we're the minority, but I don't believe that.
We're not.
Black and brown together, we are the majority. Now, I'm not putting out the white people. I'm not saying we don't appreciate y'all help and support. We love y'all and we thank y'all. Please keep coming out, because when y'all there, sometimes I feel like, they won't mess with us. No lie. I'm sorry to say, but we need y'all, okay? But we starting to say that, you know, if we come together, black and brown, and we unite, we can say it all we want to, but we need to actually do it. Actually take the action to come together. Because there's more of us than it is of them. They might have more guns, but there's more of us than it is of them. So if we continue to stand up and fight for justice, we are going to get it. And if they decide they won't give it to us, you know, there's that or else at the end of that message. They can interpret that how they choose to. Whatever you choose to say, I said or did, that's fine. I'm saying justice or else from today until we get justice for every single family that's standing out here and for the families that are not here. Justice or else! Justice or what?
Justice or else!
Justice or what?
Justice or else!
Another one we came up with while we're sitting there thinking is black and brown unite. You fuck with us and we'll fight. Because they need to know that we're done sitting down. We're done crying. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me to shoot someone 27 times. I mean, there's 40. Yes, I heard the 40. The 27 times laying in your bed. Killed while you laying in your bed. These are all inexcusable reasons. Now, if you could tell me that he advanced on you with a gun, maybe I might be able to understand what you're saying. But until then, these are all inexcusable. I don't know if you guys know, there was a man, not to bring out race, but apparently that's one of the situations. He is a white man. He shot at the police. They did not kill him. They did not tase him. They shot him with a couple of bean bags, put him in an ambulance, took him to the hospital, and then took him to jail.
What about the white man that shit's normal by himself, and we're shutting down intersections, and they're hitting us with batons, shooting us with beanbags in our faces.
Right.
But this man was never touched, and he's shutting down a whole freeway by himself.
These are a lot of the things we deal with. It's unfortunate that race has become such a big situation that we can't even say, well, you know, this is my friend or that is my friend. Now that we've gone through, so especially with these past 3 weeks, it's become such a big issue that when you differentiate who's who, it's, oh no, you know, the white boy, or you know, the black girl with the curly hair. Why can't I just say, oh, that's my friend, or it's so-and-so that's doing this? But because of all the stuff we're going through, we continue to get traumatized. We continue to go through so much fuckery that it's time to stand up. So when we say black and brown unite, y'all say you fuck with us and we'll fight. Black and brown unite, you fuck with us and we'll fight. Black and brown unite, you fuck with us and we'll fight. Black and brown unite, you fuck with us and we'll fight. Justice for Alfred and Sergio and Lamontes, and I have a list somewhere.
Yeah, say his name.
It's a lot of names. So we're just gonna say his name, and you shout out whoever it is you know they took their life. Say his name. Say his name. Say his name. Say his name. I have a list here. I know these are not all the names, and if anyone is left out, I am sorry. I'm not doing it on purpose. This is just a little snippet I have. But we will continue to stand for Victor Ortega, Angel Lopez, Mark Carrasco, Simon Humble, Sergio Wick, Lamontes Jones, Alfred Alongo, Valeria Munique, Tachiquin, Anastasio Francisco Cesena. There's a name on here I can't pronounce, but we with you. Thong Sung Balasane. We with you. So these are a few of the names. I mean, you could Google it. You can find out who in your neighborhood was killed by the police. The number is ridiculous. As it stands on Tuesday, September the 27th, when Alfred Alongo was killed, he was number 855, which is why we're using the hashtag 855. And the numbers continue to add up. By Tuesday, they killed Alfred. 2 days later, they beat a man in Pasadena who was mentally disabled.
Yeah, they did.
And by the end of the week, they had murdered or beat 6 unarmed black or brown men. This is ridiculous. It's become, I mean, to say unacceptable is not even a word anymore. That word does not describe the situations we continue to deal with.
I believe last week it was in
Fuck the police.
We're hitting up the 90s.
922 now. 922.
LA, we're still rolling up there.
So no matter where you are, the numbers are going to continue to go up. So I understand that, we're the people who are standing here now, but there's plenty of people who could not come out and stand with us. We thank you for supporting. And for everybody else, tell your friends, tell your family members, anybody you see on the street, ask them, hey, do you know what happened over there, down there on that other day? Explain it to somebody, because a lot of people don't know. A lot of people are not informed. So we need to keep passing that message that we need to stop the police brutality. I'm going to say stop the murder, because brutality is if you're just beating somebody. They're murdering people and stealing lives. So stop the genocide. There's people here with shirts that say wake up and stop the genocide. That's a real thing, because they're killing us all slowly but surely. First it was the drugs, and now they just said fuck y'all, we don't give a fuck, we'll just shoot you. So stand up and fight. For something, because if you stand for nothing, you have to stand for something or you stand for nothing. I refuse to stand for nothing. I will always stand for something. For every single family that has to go through this, I will stand with you. If you need me to call people to come and protest, let me know. I will put a message out. If you need us to just come and stand and pray with you, let us know we're there. We've built a community of people who are ready to stand and fight with you and fight for you. When you feel like, look, I've been fighting for so long, I have no fight left, we're going to be there for you to continue to stand up and fight for you. Justice or else! Justice or what? Justice or what?
Justice or else!
Black and brown unite!
Fuck with us and we'll fight!
Black and brown unite!
Fuck with us and we'll fight!
Hi, you guys. I just want to say one quick thing. So over the past, 3.5 weeks now, before Alfred Alongo got killed, we didn't know, none of us knew each other. And in the past 3.5 weeks, we became a family. And I just wanted to thank you guys for letting us come out here, because our family just got that much bigger. And I just wanted to thank you guys, and I just wanted to send my condolences to all the families out here. I was a friend of Alfred's, and that's the first time I've ever felt this. But, you know what I mean? I just can't imagine going through what you guys are going through and staying so strong. You guys are strong men and women, and I admire every single one of you guys.
And one last thing, even though this is for police brutality, know thy neighbor. Not only are police killing people, but your neighbor is in it too. Right. Even though we're standing against police, there's also a person standing there saying blue lives matter, even though blue lives murder. So I would like to thank everybody for coming out. We support you all. We are all family. Everybody needs to get connected in one way, not through Facebook because it's Facebook, but even if you need a number, we're here.
We're here.
Word up.